Hi, welcome to Storytime at Home. It's good to have you with me today. My name is Miss Alyson. I appreciate your tuning in. I've got an absolutely riveting story time today about frogs. I saw a tiny little one the other day when he hopped out behind one of the pots of flowers that I was watering on my back porch. He was about the size of my thumbnail. So he's super cute and super adorable. I've got some super cute books for you today. I've got 3 of them. And then I've got a construction paper craft for you at the end. Are you ready to get hopping? Me too. All right, this first one I'm going to read to you is Gilbert de la Frogponde, A Swamp Story. Gilbert was a hopper with an appetite for bugs, for caterpillars, dragonflies, and juicy little slugs. He ate so many winged things for oh so many moons that he blew up when he grew up to the size of a balloon. Since Gilbert was enormous, but because his feet were small, the hefty little hopper couldn't swim a stroke at all. So while his friends went swimming in their frankly frog-like ways, he flopped upon deserted docks and slept away the days. One day, the calm was broken when a pair of gourmet cooks came hunting round the frog pond for some frogs to bait their hooks. And they heaped a pile of slugs and flies up high upon a dish to tempt the little hoppers, who would surely tempt the fish. The hoppers heard the ruckus, and they scurried out of sight. They hid beneath the water where they shook with frog-like fright. And all across the frog pond, from the rowboat to the shore, not a sound or splash was heard, except a single soggy snore. The cooks looked round in wonder. They rubbed their eyes in shock. The one said to the other, "Do you see what's on the dock? A frog so slow and sleepy, and so big and meaty too. Why bother catching small frogs? Ugh, we can cut this one in 2. No, don't cut Gilbert in 2. That got the cooks to thinking, and the first one scratched his head. What need have we for fish at all? Let's eat this frog instead. We'll have his arms for supper and his chubby legs for lunch. The rest of him we'll squeeze into a sausage for our brunch." Oh no! Poor Gilbert. Poor Gilbert heard them scheming. Poor Gilbert saw his fate. He closed his eyes and visualized his legs upon a plate. And so, to save his slimy skin, he cleared his croaky throat. And spinning on his frog legs, Gilbert faced the leaky boat. "My friends, you must be gourmet chefs, and so am I, you see. I'm Gilbert de la Frogponde." That's La Frogponde with an E, so super fancy. "And I'll share with you a secret, as I see you've got some slugs. Frogs are très passé these days. The latest thing is bugs." Oh, yes. There's hornet jalapeno, there's caterpillar stew, and horsefly primavera, though the wings, they're hard to chew. Centipede salads divine for something fresh and light, but watch out for mosquito quiche. I itched and scratched all night. Is any of this sounding good to you? Not sounding good to me. I'm sure you've heard of chocolate ants and firefly fondue, of earthworm enchiladas and bedbug barbecue. So why would you eat frog legs or tough and tasteless toad when all of haute cuisine's abuzz with insects a la mode? Look at all those bug recipes. You know, it's about time for lunch, but suddenly I'm not so hungry. The chefs looked at the frog and asked, "What is this new cuisine? The flavors sound exotic, though the portions seem quite lean. But if eating bugs is all the rage, I guess we probably should." They gobbled up some slugs and cried, "They're really rather good," if they say so. The chefs threw down their fish poles and scrambled to the shore. "We need those recipes," they cried. "You've got to tell us more." So they talked and ate for hours till they finished all the slugs. Then they all fell fast asleep, full tummies, and dreamt delicious dreams of bugs. Did Gilbert de la Frogponde save himself? He did. Smart thinking. And bon appetit. Are slugs on the menu for your lunch or dinner? I hope not. Ugh. All right, the second book. I don't want to be a frog. I want to be a cat. You can't be a cat. Why not? Because you're a frog. I don't like being a frog. It's too wet. Well, you can't be a cat. I want to be a rabbit. You can't be a rabbit. Why not? Look, I can hop. Sure, but where are your long ears? And besides, what's wrong with being a frog? I don't like being a frog. It's too slimy. That may be, but you can't be a rabbit. I want to be a pig. You can't be a pig. Why not? Most of all because you're a frog, but also because you don't have a curly tail or eat garbage. I can eat garbage. Everyone says that until they eat garbage. Sorry, you can't be a pig. I want to be an owl. Of course you want to be an owl. Being an owl is the greatest thing ever. Boy, would you love being an owl. So can I be an owl then? No, of course not. Why not? 1, you don't have wings. 2, you don't look wise. 3, you can't turn your head all the way around. 4, you're a frog. What's wrong with being a frog anyway? Too much bug eating. Here we go again with the bugs. Look, they're having bug sandwiches. I see. But still, no being an owl for you. Why so glum? Someone else is asking. Look, who do you think that is? Ooh, looks kind of scary, doesn't he? I don't want to be a frog. What do you want to be then? Not a frog. I want to be a cat or a rabbit or a pig or an owl. Something cute and warm. I'm going to let you in on a little secret, this big critter says. I love eating cats. I love eating rabbits and pigs and owls too. And I'm pretty hungry. I might just go gobble some up right now. That's terrible. It's who I am. But guess the one thing I never eat. Can you guess? Badgers? No, I eat badgers. Lots of badgers. Frogs? Bingo. Why don't you eat frogs? Because they're too wet and slimy and full of bugs. Oh, so it's good to be a frog? Yep. I guess you can't fight nature. We are what we are. You are a fierce hunter. And you are a wet, slimy, bug-eating, very lucky frog. You should just be happy you're not a fly. What's wrong with being a fly? Whap! Do frogs eat flies? They do, and he's got that one right there on that page. He's a funny little guy, isn't he? I like him a lot. Okay, one more book, and then we'll do the craft, and I need your help with this one, okay? There are 3 words I want you to say along with me. And those 3 words are too many frogs. I'll tell you when to do it. Nana Quimby was making a cake. She heard a damp sort of sound at her cellar door. She opened the door and found the cellar filled with water. Let me scoot up a little bit closer. These pictures are littler than the other ones. Here we go. Nana Quimby rushed to the window. Too much water, she cried. See right there? "Call a plumber," said the paper boy. So she did. The plumber came with all his tools, and soon the water was gone. All right. Nana Quimby stirred the cake batter. She heard a thump at the cellar door. She opened the door, and 10 frogs hopped across the kitchen floor. You see them down there? Nana Quimby rushed to the window. This is where I want you to follow along with me, okay? Can you say it? "Too many frogs," she cried. "Put the frogs in a goldfish bowl," said a girl jumping up and down. So Nana Quimby did. See him there? Nana Quimby poured the batter into the pan. She heard a thump thump at her cellar door. She opened the door, and 20 frogs hopped across the floor. Nana Quimby rushed to the window. "Here you go." "Too many frogs," she cried. A boy running fast said, "Put the frogs in cups of water." So she did. You see them all? Would your parents let you put frogs in cups of water from your kitchen? Probably not. But they are awfully cute, aren't they? Nana Quimby put the cake into the oven. She heard a thump, thump, bang at her cellar door. She opened the door, and 30 frogs hopped across the floor. All right, you ready? Nana Quimby rushed to the window. "Too many frogs," she cried. A girl tossing a stick said, "Put the frogs in pots and pans." So she did. You see all the frogs in her pots and pans? Nana Quimby washed the bowls. She heard a thump, thump, bang, bang at her cellar door. She opened the door, and 40 frogs hopped across the floor. Okay, here's where you come in. Nana Quimby rushed to the window, and what did she say? "Too many frogs." A boy with a cat said, "Put the frogs in the sink." So she did. Look at all those little vases. Nana Quimby took the cake out of the oven. She heard a thump, thump, bang, bang, bonk at the cellar door. She opened the door, and 50 frogs hopped across the floor. All right, you ready? Nana Quimby rushed to the window. What did she cry? "Too many frogs." A girl with a bat said, "Put the frogs in the washing machine." So she did. Oh my goodness, she's got a mess on her hands. Nana Quimby set the cake to cool. She heard a thump, thump, bang, bang, bonk, bonk at the cellar door. She opened the door, and 100 frogs hopped across the kitchen floor. Nana Quimby rushed to the window, and she cried, "Too many frogs." A boy with a bicycle said, "Put them in the bathtub." So she did. What do you think about that? Would your parents let you put all those frogs in the bathtub? Probably not. Nana Quimby frosted the cake. She heard a thump, thump, bang, bang, bonk, bonk, boom at the cellar door. She opened the door, and 1,000,000 frogs hopped, jumped, bumped, and bounced across the kitchen floor. Look at all of them. See those? And then those. Wow! Nana Quimby rushed to the window, and what did she cry? "Too many frogs." But this time there was no one to answer. She scratched her head and then said, "Put the frogs in the cellar and fill it full of water." Now, do you remember what the problem was at the beginning of the book? Her cellar was full of water, and so she had a plumber come and empty it. But she did it anyway. Look at all those frogs swimming around, and what is she doing? She's got her feet in the water, and she's having some cake. I guess she's gonna live with them. One of my all-time favorite books. Okay, very fun, cute craft today. All you're gonna need, Let me show you your supplies first. You're going to need some construction paper. You might need a couple of different shades of green because you're going to do your frogs and also a lily pad. So I used a light green for my frogs, you're going to see in just a minute, and a darker green for the lily pad. But you can do it however you like. You'll need a sheet of red because you're going to make their little tongues. And then I also used blue to create the pond. You're also, if you've got them, googly eyes, or you can draw the eyes on, because you are going to use a Sharpie or a magic marker or a crayon to draw their little nose and a smile. And you're going to need some scissors and either bottle glue or stick glue. And I used a little bit of Scotch tape too, just to make sure everything really stayed together. But here are my little guys. Look how cute they are. I made the big one yesterday and I thought, you know, he looks lonely. I think he needs a teeny little friend. How about that? Okay, so all you have to do, decide what size you want your frog to be, and you're gonna make a tube of paper, okay? So just, and you don't have to use all of this. I'll probably cut it in half. Alright, and all you have to do is you can either tape the tube together or glue it, your choice. So you're going to have one big tube, and then the one for the head needs to be a little narrower than the body is. Again, you're just going to roll that tube up, and then you're going to set it on top of the body. Just like that, okay? It's not all stuck together, so it's a little messy looking, but that's the head and the body. And you're gonna need, let me show you how to do the tongue so that you'll know how to make it curl, because that adds some extra fun to it. Okay, just need a little narrow strip of red. Okay, before you glue it onto the frog's face, take you a pencil, and the rounded end is where you start with your pencil. All you have to do is just roll it up. And then you've got a little curled frog tongue to catch a fly, like in that second book we read about today. Okay? So you've got your head and your body. You've got the tongue. Your little frog's going to need some feet and hands. So all you do is just, and you make them whatever shape you like. I just kind of made these, make them about this shape. Just cut 4 of these out of your construction paper. Okay, let me show you the finished product so you can see where I put the legs, front legs and back legs. See, the back legs are just tucked underneath the body and glued to the lily pad, and then you put the front legs up a little bit. Kind of makes it look like they're propping themselves up on the front. So we've got the head, the body, the 4 legs, the funny curly tongue, and then you need a place for their eyes. And all you have to do for that is you make it the same width as the head. You can cut out a little rectangle, kind of practice your shapes, and then you just want to give it 2 rounded spots for where the eyes go. And again, you can draw these in or glue googly eyes on them. You're going to want to fold them a little bit and then glue that flat edge onto the top tube of the paper. See how I did it here? And then you've got your little eyes. Alright? And see, they're sitting on a couple of little lily pads. They're just circles with a little triangle cut into them. Have a fun way to practice your shapes. You've got circles and triangles, and then you've got your cylinder shapes, and these are originally rectangles, so you can practice your shapes. And then they're sitting on that blue construction paper. It's like they're in the pond. Ribbit, ribbit. Okay, so as always, I'd love to see your work. So if you want to share the frogs that you make out of construction paper, please take a photograph and post it underneath this video. That would be super fun to see. And don't forget, our Summer Reading Club is ending on July 31st. You can continue posting your minutes on Read Squared that you get to via our website, www.falib.org. We also still have ongoing story times and workshops and presentations. The calendar for all of those can also be found at our website. You can also come into the library to check out some new materials, and please say hello while you're there. We'd love to see you. And thanks for joining me today. I hope you all have a very hoppy day. Bye.